How's it going, guys? Thanks again for visiting my channel. I hope everybody's doing well. And today here I have a brand new release from LUXLI. This is the LUXLI Cello Mark II. And I also brought along here my little LUXLI family here to show you guys in case you're not familiar with the LUXLI Taiko and also the LUXLI Fiddle. But the same concepts that you use to film, for example, a concert with the 4 or 5 Sony FS6 cameras, because there's nothing to match in post-production since you can actually copy the same exact profile from one camera to another. The same thing applies to lighting here. If you use different brands of all kinds of things, you always will have to do some color correction, or some lights behave different according to the type of LEDs they come in front. So in short, to keep everything the same brand, cameras, lighting and everything also helps in your production. These lights here, the only difference between all 3 of them is the actual power and the size of the lights, because every single feature that you find here is also compressed here and also here. So everything this light can do, this one can do, and this one can do. So if you want to watch the review of these 2 other lights here, I'm going to leave the little link on the top corner of this video here. So don't go anywhere. I have a lot to cover here in detail regarding the LUXLI Cello Mark II. And just to let you guys know, LUXLI has sent me this light for me to test and review. This video is not sponsored by LUXLI, and all my words and opinions are my own, and I don't get paid to say anything here. Inside the box, you're going to see the light itself, also a Sony NPF, I think 570 size battery, and also a super sturdy ball mount, which has the shoe mount on the bottom, and also a 1/4-20 thread here, in which you can actually attach and extend, as you can see here. And on top, you're going to be seeing a rubber material here, which does not scratch the bottom of your light. And also keep in mind that if you want to use the Barndoors here, you have to either use the one that LUXLI provide, or the same similar diameter of this screw here, because it might be in the way of the Barndoors if the actual surface is too large. So make sure it is the same size. Comes with an end-to-end USB-C type cable, and this cable is at least 6 feet in length. And it also comes with a USB-C power delivery, which is the proper voltage to actually charge the battery here while you're using the light, which, by the way, when you actually remove the cable, it does not interrupt the operation of the light. So when I actually plug it back in, nothing is interrupted. And also it features a USB-C, which supports the power delivery, in which this cable that comes included with this light here is plenty of reach to reach the outlet there. As you can see, I'm using the cable right now, and this outlet is at least 5 or 6 feet away from here. And I also noticed that I actually have the battery here, which actually gives the ability for you to charge the battery while using the USB-C. So I'm going to start the video here already telling the differences between the LUXLI Cello Mark I and the Mark II, in case you already have it and want to upgrade to the Mark II, or in case you just want to add more lights to your studio here. So first of all, this operates on Bluetooth 5, which allows you to control the app now up to 100 feet away. Also, the Cello Mark II has 20% more brightness and also 30% less power draw at full power, which allows you to run this light for longer times with the same type of battery here. The Cello Mark I is going to give you 1240 lux at 3 feet away, while the LUXLI Cello Mark II is going to give you 1490 lux at 3 feet away. And it also has a slightly higher CRI and TLCI than the LUXLI Cello Mark I. The Mark II has a CRI of 96 and a TLCI of 98. So if you want to know the precise measurements, it's about 9.5 inches across here by 3.7 inches this way, and only 1 inches in thickness, and this is a 12.5 ounce light. Also on CCT, the Mark I, it goes all the way down to 3200 Kelvin, while this light here is going to go all the way down to 2800 degrees Kelvin. My favorite thing about the LUXLI lights here are the LEDs that they make. These are 5-die LEDs, and this is a single chip with the all 5 LEDs built in here, and also this special lens that they put in front here. So when you want to use the light a bare bone like this, almost acts like a grid. You have total light control without pretty much putting anything, depending on the distance that the light is going to be shining either on somebody or something or the background. These lights here, they're mainly designed for accent or to be an on-camera light for run and gun, or accents or hair light, whatever it is you want to do accents or put something in the background like this here. For key light, you want to use a light like this here, or any other light with a bonus mount or with the softbox and all. This will be the proper light, especially for serious productions such as corporate videos or a high budget wedding. You know, you want to use these lights for that. Of course, you can actually get away with this light here for key light, because this is still a powerful light, and nowadays everybody likes to shoot in shallow depth of field, which is a lot of light entering that sensor. So I don't see a problem using this light for key light, even though this light is not really designed for that. You can also diffuse this light by actually having an additional optional accessory, which is the diffuser here, which works magnetically. You can actually snap it on, snap it off. A lot of people like metal-made lights, including myself, but there is also times that this is actually a disadvantage. This one here is made of metal because it should be made of metal for durability and robustness of the product. This little light here is also made of metal, which actually makes this light actually heavy. This almost feels like cast iron, but it's not. But it always feels like it because it's so thick, the actual metal here. But this one here, I'm actually very happy to know that they actually made this light entirely of plastic because, for two reasons. I live in Pennsylvania. February here is rather cold. I don't want to touch metal in the cold. Especially one of the main uses for this light here should be an on-camera light. If it is cold, the plastic is going to be taken easier in your hand, and also to make the light lighter. You don't want this light to be actually front heavy on your camera. So plastic here is a great thing. So with that said, I don't mind about the plastic at all, and I actually prefer plastic. And it will take a little bit of a talent if you want to break this light. You would have to do something very imprudent with this light to actually successfully break this light here, or drop it from a great height. Even if it is made of metal, you can definitely break the light to cause an enormous dent here. So either way or another, this light's gonna get damaged. So, and by the way, if you're looking for a key light with using small lights like this here, you know, Luxley is not really meant to be a budget brand. And if you are here actually looking for the Cello Mark II, you probably have panels like this here, or if not already the Tyco, or if you have a nice key light and everything. So this light here can be actually used as a key light, but you know, there are other ways better ways to do a key light, such as panels like this or a larger softbox. But this one here, again, if you shoot depth of field in a shallow mode, you can actually put another diffusion here besides the diffuser you can actually buy optionally with this product here. Put another diffuser in front here to make the light bigger, and there you go. You can actually make a key light here. So here's what the Cello Mark II will look like as a key light. I don't have diffusion or anything in the light. It's bare bone right in my face here, and the light is currently at 30%. And if you want to put a diffuser here, you can do that very quickly, and then you just compensate with a little bit more brightness here because you have something blocking the LEDs, right? And right now the light is at 52%, so it should look like this here. You have some shadows here and everything, but it diffuses the light to a certain degree. Now for the proper diffusion, you're gonna have to use an additional diffusion here, so it looks like this here. So the light is actually cranked up to 100%, and this is actually a f4 Canon lens, which is a rather dark lens. So if you want to shoot f1.2 or one of those apertures, no problem. So for this lens here, the light is actually 4 feet from me here, and the diffusion is attached plus this here. So this is what you're looking at with this particular light here. I'm not sure if Luxley actually makes a grid for the Cello Mark I and Mark II. If they do, I'm not aware of it because so far I haven't seen a B&H. But if they will probably make this grid, I'm not sure. If they do, that'll be cool. But the way the LED with these lenses here, that already allows you to have a nice lighting control without spilling light all over the place, because the beam is actually concentrated. And they also make a optional barn door accessory here, which by the way, this whole thing is made of metal. And I also like the fact that they put a little foamy material here, which prevents the light from being scratched every time you mount and dismount this thing here, which is super great for me here because I'm actually very picky with my equipment. I don't like scratches on my equipment. Now the best way to mount this barn door here is with the light actually mounted on a stand or close to the ground, especially carpet. That'll be favorable, especially if it is your first time actually mounting this barn door. There are no instructions in the box. I mean, this is actually self-explanatory, but I can see some people kind of, should I go this way or that way? So I'm gonna show you guys here the proper way to attach this barn door just in case without damaging it or the light itself. So the barn door latches here, it opens this way here, almost like a hinge kind of thing. And again, the little foamy material is inside. So you can actually close one. You want to slide one end of the light right here while the other one remains open. And then you want to just close the light here, and that's it. So to actually remove this light here from this barn door, just open one end, the light is going to slide right out. This mount system here is quite simple, actually very efficient, and it really works. I don't see another way to mount this light right here. The Cello lights currently do not come with a case, but I'm sure Luxley has a sort of a case for you to actually purchase, or any other item that B&H might suggest. There's definitely a case for this here. Now regarding firmware update, the newer Luxley lights such as the Fiddle and the Mark II from Cello, you can actually update the firmware using the Composer Luxely app right on set, even if you're in the middle of filming. When you have like a 10-minute break, you can actually launch the app and the firmware can be updated here. And you can also downgrade or roll back to the previous firmware if you want to. I think that is great. In case you don't like the new firmware, you can actually always roll back. Try to do that with an iPhone. And this light here, since it is the LUXLI Cello Mark I, you still have to actually take it to your computer with a USB cable here. It's a little bit of work to update the firmware here, especially this is a very heavy panel. But this guys here is all updatable with the Luxely Composer app right on set. You don't even need to be on Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to be launching the Luxely Composer app. It's extremely easy to use. So first of all, on the bottom left, look for lights. Everything populates right here. So you have all three, the LUXLI Fiddle, the Cello Mark II, and the LUXLI Cello. So you can actually tap on the LUXLI Cello Mark II, or the LUXLI Fiddle, or the LUXLI Cello. You can control them independently or all together, as you can see here, single, as group, or all. So as single here, you can actually control the intensity and everything else from the LUXLI Cello itself, or the LUXLI Cello Mark II, or the LUXLI Fiddle right here. Or you can control them all by adding all, and then they're all gonna be on and off, or whatever you want to do at the same time. You can do the HSL here, and they're all gonna behave the same. You can also have a mix mode here, which you cannot be determined, like the Luxely Cello, for example, not to be as strong. Around here, you can control everything separately or all together here. With the newest firmware upgrade here on XY, they inserted the device gamut here, in which you can see how the light was calibrated. You have the Adobe 1988, sRGB gamut, and all those things you can see here. And also the gels to choose from. The effects is right here. All the effects. Gonna hit play, of course. And then the app effects, there's more here. The clouds passing, the bed fluorescent, the TV, and all. You can also create your own sequences here, and even the camera, if you actually want to point at something, the light is going to mimic whatever color that you want. For example, my tripod here, the red, there you go, adjust to red. You can also do group and all lights. I'm not going to have here too much details because I already made a full tutorial how to use this application here. But the main thing here with the firmware upgrade is now it has the device gamut available in case you need to see how these lights are calibrated here, or whatever colors that you need to go here, whatever parameters that you need is right here. Now let's take a look at the light itself here. On the bottom here there are two red buttons. The one on the right here is the power button, which you can actually press quickly, no need to press and hold. And it boots up very quickly in case you're in a rush. And the other button here, which is on the left, you can actually press to go from CCT to the HSI, to the actual color gels, which there are 150 of them here, to the lightning effect, which I believe there are 10, and back to the CCT mode. Now the brightness buttons allow you to go from 0% to 1% increments, very slowly or very quickly, or extremely quickly. As you can see, you can go from 0 to 100% into a single turn, or gradually, and also very fast even, or very slowly. I also like the way this light dims here. I have my hand in front of the light here, and as you can see, it has a very elegant dimming kind of effect. It's not abruptive, which you can actually make a pretty transition there. In case you're going from 100% all the way to 0, it kind of gradually dims like that. Now let's say the light actually is at 41%, and then you actually quickly press the power button here. The light's gonna turn off. When you quickly press it on, again, there's no waiting, the light is still at 41%. If you switch to 37%, power the light down, power it back on, it's going to be exactly at 37%, so you don't have to actually find out what settings you were when you were on a break or whatever. It's going to bring you exactly here to this particular color temperature, no problem. And the top button here not only allows you to control the color temperature on CCT, but also allows you to also control the green magenta shift correction here. I believe the Cello Mark I has the minimum color temperature on CCT of 3200 or 3000, I'm not sure, somewhere in the neighborhood, but this light here allows you to go all the way down to 2800 Kelvin now. And not only can actually change the temperature very slowly in 50-degree Kelvin increments, you can actually ramp it up very fast or super fast, all the way to 10,000 degrees Kelvin. If that wasn't enough, this button senses the most common color temperatures. For example, if you yank this button this way here, it's going to go from 10,000, 7200, 64, 56, 43, 32, and 28. If you press this button quickly, it's going to jump from the color temperature control to the green magenta shift control, which you can actually easily adjust all the way from -100 all the way to the fullest magenta, all the way to the full green correction here, and anything in between here. I think it would be cool if you kind of press and hold or something, you will go back to 0, like the application lets you do a neutral position there. That would be cool to see that happening here on the next firmware. Somewhere, I don't know, double tap or something like that to bring it back to 0 instead of you finally tuning all the way to 0 here. But this is a minor detail though. So again, if you need a tiny little bit of green or magenta here, you just go a little bit here or a little bit there. Next we have a Hsi Mode, which allows you to go very slowly to the color that you want, or very quickly. Now when you turn this knob here very quickly, it's going to let you go precisely into the most common RGB colors that you see, which is the red, and then here, and then 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, which is actually 0. Or you can actually go this way here, or even rapidly like this here. So whatever you want to do, or you can actually do this here. Press this once again, you are controlling the saturation here, which I accidentally had at 92%, so here's the actual full colors. So let me do that thing again. Here, 0, 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, 360. Very rich colors. Next page will be the gels, which there are 150 of them here. And as you can see, everything is color-coded and organized here. So everything related to chroma key usually is the first or the second here. And everything else, if you want to go red, everything related to pink and red is right here. The yellows, greens and stuff. And also the blue range, aqua. There's a bunch of gels here, 150 to choose from. If you want to access gel number 87, it's very quickly, right there. Access 111, right here. Next will be the effects page. If you don't press anything in, you simply rotate this dial here. The top one is going to let you go through the light effects here, which is the CCT chase, color chase, explosion, fire, fireworks, lightning, paparazzi, and pulse, siren, and then strobe. So you notice there's a little icon here, so you actually have to press this button to actually play the effect, and you control the intensity right here at the bottom knob. Now the CCT chase, for example, if you want to tune in the effect, simply press in once on the top button, and then you have the CCT start, CCT stop, and then you actually set the temperature that you want right here from the bottom knob. And then plus green, minus green, you decide how green or magenta you want the effect to be. And also 406, the time unit, seconds, minutes, whatever. And then 506, the time loop, that's the duration of the thing. And finally 606 will be the actual loop, off or on, it's up to you. And then when you press it in, it goes back to the normal page, which is going to give you the next effect here. So color chase, you press stop and play. And finally press this button again, which is going to let you fine tune here without the app again. So you actually have the values that you want to set here. The hue start, if you want to start from the red, it's up to you. If you want to start from here, and then you click here, boom, registered. Then also you have the hue stop, same exact thing, you control the values right here. Then you have the saturation level. You can actually start from 100%, or if you want the saturation to start right here. So everything is very intuitive, very simple here. So the time unit and all that stuff. So all kinds of control here. So now I'm going to be showing you guys the effects here real quick. This is the chase, looks like this here. And then the next one I have to stop and play again. Color chase looks like this. You can also determine how fast this is going to go, how soft or whatever transition. The next one will be the explosion. And again, you can tweak everything here to your liking. Next one will be the fire. Now this one here is worth showing you again because a lot of people are going to be using this effect. And by the way, the LUXLI has the most realistic candlelights or fire effects that I've ever seen. All the other LED lights, they're too disruptive. This one here has the right ramp or waves or whatever, I don't know how to explain, but I actually tried to demonstrate in another video with the LUXLI Fiddle, I believe, a real candle side by side. It is exactly the same thing the real candle was doing with what was programmed in this light here from factory. So first we have the fire type, click in here, and then we have candle or campfire or bonfire, and then the rotate this knob here is the 202. What would you want? No wind, it looks like this, breeze, and then windy, and then storm. I like the breeze, which is very realistic. You can see the ramp of how the LEDs are behaving on the background there. Press it in again to go to the next effect. Here's the fireworks. Press play to actually play back. And again, lightning. Press stop. This is actually a very realistic effect here. Pay attention to this here. it doesn't really flash. It kind of dims and flash. I don't know how to explain, but this is actually very realistic effect. This is another one that most lights from other manufacturers, they suck at the lighting. This one here. Now this one here can also adjust the actual timing. So press it once again. You have the CCT, what color you want the lighting to be, all the way from 32 or 2800 degrees Kelvin, or 3000 actually, all the way to 10,000. I like it at 10,000. Next one will be the intervals. This is another huge plus here because you don't want this to be playing on every single second, like every other LED lights that you have to cover the light here. This one here, if you want the next one to be as long as 8 seconds, it will do that for you. So 8 seconds to go by and then the effect is gonna play out again. You can make as long as you like, every 60 seconds for example. And then it's not going to do anything until 60 seconds elapse. Press it in to go to the next effect. That will be the Paparazzi. Everybody knows what it looks like, but still can actually adjust intensity, the bulb type, the CCT, the plus green, everything. And next will be the pulse. This is a very cool, like the light is breathing. You can actually, of course, adjust the hue, the saturation, the pulses per minute, whatever you want. Press it in again, it's going to take you to the next effect, which is the police light. And also, many LED lights, especially at this price here, will not let you adjust in this fine detail here. So you can control the colors, red, blue, and white, or red and blue only, or whatever. You can also do the flash cycle here, slower, or faster, or more wavy, or whatever you want. Duration, all these things here. And then finally is the strobe, which again you can actually adjust hue, saturation, frequency, and duration. So here's the Cello Mark II without any accessory whatsoever, bare bone, and it's about 7 feet away from that projection screen, which by the way, this is not a white screen, it's a semi-gray screen, just so you know. But just to give an idea here, 7 feet away, that it is between a spotlight and a floodlight, so something in between. And with a diffusion, without, and with. Now here you have the actual Barndoors installed, and keep in mind, because these lenses in front of these LEDs here, you're gonna have some occasional horizontal lines on the background, which can make an interesting pattern or something actually very distractive, but no problem if you don't want this to happen, because you can actually install the diffuser here without having to remove the Barndoors, and that problem no longer exists. When you actually close the barn door here, those horizontal lines are no longer present. Now if you want to use this Barndoors here without anything attached here, you want to use a bare bone, you can certainly do that for key light and rim light, because even though the lines will be here, I don't think this is going to be affecting a lot your hair light or rim light. So you can leave the way it is here. But again, if you don't want that, just snap in the diffuser here and these lines will no longer appear here, as you can see. And just so you know, because of heating and cooling of the light and due to the materials this light is made of, you're gonna hear some occasional snapping sounds because of the expansion and contraction, again due to heat and cooling, so just to keep that in mind. And that's the end of my review. I hope you found the content of this video helpful or useful to you. If you want to see more contents like this, you know what to do. And also, please give me a thumbs up. That tells me that I'm doing a good job here. And most importantly, there's nothing worse than when you leave a comment somewhere on YouTube here and nobody responds to you. I respond to everything that I see there. So if you want to leave a comment or a question, whatever, I respond to everything. And also, if you'd like to use my affiliated links that I provide on the description of this video, I earn a tiny little commission here that helps me create more contents like this, which also is a lot of work to make these videos. So again, I really appreciate it, and also thank you very much for your time watching this video, and I'll see you next time.